Hi, my name is Delmarshae Walker. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a great day today. What I want to talk about real quickly, because if you do hear noise in the background, it's fireworks going off, but I just want to go ahead and put this out there. And this is truly a message to the young girls. It's very important how you carry yourself when you're dealing with the world in itself, as well as dealing with men. Um, I talked about my past where, I grew up in a dysfunctional family. My mom, she was a narcissist. She was narcissistic. I was molested at 9, wanted to kill myself at 10. But I always had a relationship with God. And even when I became a teenager, I was doing underage drinking, I was smoking weed. And my attitude with God was, you're not going nowhere, because you say you would never leave or forsake me. I'm not going anywhere, so I'm just stuck with you with this bad attitude. So even though I was out there in the streets doing certain things, doing things I shouldn't do, I still had a foundation, and my foundation was God. My foundation was the Bible. So it was still certain things I would not do. It was still a certain way I carried myself. Even though, even though I was out there, I value who I was as a person. I turned I turned 18 in the 80s, in the late 80s. And this is when like crack cocaine was like first coming out and no one really knew what it was because it was just a drug that was just so new. I had an understanding for myself, and this has nothing to do with anyone else, but for myself, I knew the only thing I was going to do, because even though I didn't know about crack cocaine, or we didn't know about crack cocaine at that time, we did know about the other drugs that was out there. So in my mind, I was just going to do two things: smoke weed and drink alcohol, and that was it. So I have been in situations where I was being peer pressured to try crack. I was like in the room with people who was actually smoking it, and they're like my age, my friends. We hung out together, but I didn't do it because that's not who I was. That's not what I stood for. Because, like I say, even though I was out there in the streets, I still had limitations on things I would do based on who I was, based on me being grounded. I've been around people that snorted cocaine. I've been around people who smoked boom. I've been around people who pop pills. I never indulged in those things. And I know sometimes, because my mindset is like this. If you're doing something, that's your business. But if you keep trying to get me to do it, I'm the type of person that'd be like, well, okay, fine. I might curse you out on my way out the door, but I'm leaving. I don't feel like I'm not the type of person that's afraid to not be part of the crowd or not have friends or be kicked out of the group. I don't care. Kick me out. I'm going, because if I'm saying I don't want to do this, respect me enough not to keep pressuring me to try to do this, that, or the other. And I know a lot of times with young girls, they feel like they want to be part of the in crowd. They want to be part of the group. And the last thing they want to happen is to get kicked out, to get shunned, not be a part of that group, or have the group turn on them and now the group is talking about them. So a lot of times, even though they don't want to do certain things, they do it anyway. But that's why I say you truly have to have, when you stand in front of the mirror, not for anyone, not for your parents or anyone else, when you stand in front of the mirror, who do you see? When you look at yourself in the mirror, who would you describe yourself as? Are you somebody who will stand up for yourself and say, I'm not going to do this, I'm okay, I'm secure in who I am? Or are you the type of person that you need to be in a crowd, that you need to be part of the group, that you need to be a follower? So no matter what the people want to do, even though you know it's wrong in your heart, you're going to do it anyway. So if you're that type of person, you need to kind of step back. And I know sometimes, especially with being young, because I was there myself. Even now, sometimes I'm not sure, who I am. I need to kind of gauge who I am as a person or which direction I want to go. But I know my boundaries. I know my limitation. I know certain things that I will not do no matter what. And so you need to kind of figure out who you are as an individual. It's very important that you love yourself. It's very important that you respect yourself. And it's very important that you present that out there so other people can respect you as well. You're always going to have people who's not going to like you. You will always have people who's not going to respect you. But you always have to be secure in yourself that, you know what, I'm okay with being with me and I will walk away from you. I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. You have to have that attitude because you don't want to be used and you don't want to be taken advantage of. And the other part to that is men know the difference. I have been around men who talk about women like a dog. And they will sit there and be so disrespectful that you think they feel that way about all women, but then they will turn around and show respect to other women. And because I grew up as a tomboy. I'm still a tomboy. And so I would find myself in situations where sometimes I would be the only girl or it'd be me and another girl with a bunch of guys. And they would just, I didn't feel like I need to be in forefront. So I would kind of like fall back just so I can listen to them, just so I can hear what they're saying. And you would be surprised at how guys look at girls. Even some of the chicks that, today y'all be like, she's bad, she's the baddest, and this, that, and the other. The guy will see them like that, but they have no respect for them. Some guys, some women, they have no respect for them. They would get with them because I heard a conversation with a guy. He's messing with this girl and he's telling his friend, I'm tired of her. You can take her now. He's passing her on. So she's basically a pass on chick. Time he get through with her, he's passing her on to his friend who's going to pass her on to someone else once he get tired of her. So she's done been through almost the whole, all the homeboys and stuff like that. And this is the stuff I seen. This is the stuff I witnessed. This is the stuff I either heard, in conversation or actually seen for myself being done. Like I said, I've seen guys be so disrespectful to one woman and turn around and be respectful to another. I have had that done to me where a guy would be cursing someone else out but then show me respect. And I'm confused. I'm like, why are you cussing her out? And be like, oh, you just don't know. And he would say, oh, she's a B or she's a H. Oh, you don't know how she really is. And stuff like that. So guys do distinguish between women based on how a woman would carry themselves. So if you're carrying yourself like a B or a hoe, I didn't mean to say that, but if you're carrying yourself like that, you might get that treatment. You might say, well, I'm not like that, or they need to respect me, or this, that, and the other. But they're going to treat you based on how they see you presenting yourself. And just like if you're a woman who you're carrying yourself with respect, you're not putting all your business out there, you're not putting all your goods out there, they will treat you differently as well. And so you have to be mindful of these things and have self-respect for yourself. Carry yourself with the utmost respect. And then when you see these girls going from guys to guys to guys, yeah, they're getting money. Yeah, they're getting all this other stuff. They're getting trips, this, that, and the other. But then at the same time, you have to think about what are they actually doing to get these things. It's not just the pretty face that's getting them from point A to point B. Sometimes there's other things they have to do along with that pretty face. So never be jealous of another woman. Never be envious of another woman. And never be like, oh, I wish I was her. Because like I said, you don't know exactly what that person is doing to get in the position, to get in the rooms, to get in the, wherever they're at. You don't know what they're doing to get there. But if you carry yourself with respect, you're going to be okay. Don't feel like you're not going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And this is another thing I want you to think about. Just like those women be saying, and I do agree with them, a man has no right to put their hands on them or do anything like that. But just think about this in a logical type of way. As a woman or just as a person in general, when you leave your house, whatever, your house is your house. No one should be able to come in your house and take anything unless they get permission from you first. Knowing that, when you walk out of your house, you still secure your house. You make sure your windows are closed and locked. You make sure your doors are locked because you don't want anyone to come in there. If you have a car, you're making sure your car is secure. If you're a woman and you're carrying a purse, you're making sure your purse is secure. Your phone, your computer, whatever you have that someone can take from you, even though they don't have the right to do it, you still make sure it's secure because you're looking at that stuff as valuable and you don't want anyone to take it without your permission. Why can't you look at your body the same way? Your body is valuable. Your body is a gift from God. No one has the right to take it, touch it, or whatever. But why not make sure your body is secure? Why not make sure you're covered? Why not make sure you're carrying yourself? You put more energy in securing tangible objects, tangible things, but you don't put that same energy in securing yourself. But you should always do that. And so, young women, y'all are beautiful. Don't let anyone tell you different. And believe me, men look at women different. Every man that used the word B and H, they're not meaning every woman they come across. Some women would want you to be in that group with them and say, "Oh, you're calling all women." They're not. That's why sometimes when I hear men use those words, I don't get offended because I know they're not talking to me because I'm not. And so you need to understand that sometimes men say certain things, but they're not talking to all women. And at the bottom, I'm going to leave 2 music videos that kind of pertains to the subject that we're talking about now. I hope everyone has a blessed new year. And like I said, you're a very beautiful woman. Carry yourself with the utmost respect because you deserve it. Peace.